What is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We are in the building. It is Take Your Pick. It's the weekend, folks. It is Friday. It is August 11th, 2023, and we are here yet again to close out the week on a high note. I missed it. Missed the high note there. The fat lady will continue to sing. Folks, I'm excited to be here. This is going to be a good day. And we've been rolling along. We've had a few potholes that we ran over the past couple of days, but let's get back on the interstate and let's continue to ride smoothly to our next destination of winning. And speaking of winning, it is time for winning words of wisdom. And this one is coming from Brian Tracy. And here's what Brian Tracy says. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Dave. Thanks to you guys for joining us. Brian Tracy, here's what he says. Winners make a habit of manufacturing their own positive expectations in advance of the event. Folks, let me tell you something. Think positive. Think like winners. We're going to win today. We plan on winning today. It's amazing how when you just get something in your mind and you just keep pushing forward. Good morning, Diesel 72. Good morning. A lot of times, man, when you experience failures, you can allow those things to be setbacks. I don't worry about it. Here's one of the things I understand in the Pick'em DFS streets. Some days aren't going to go the way we want, but you can't derail your process. You can't derail pushing forward with negative thinking. No need to even live in that. And guess what? It's the same thing when we win. When we win, great. We put the money in our account. We move on to the next day. Why? Because there are more slates to attack. As long as sports are going on, the pick'em sites will be providing opportunities for us to be profitable, and we want to do just that. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Stay right there in the middle. We didn't win yesterday. No big deal. We won yesterday. Great. On to the next slate. Folks, I'm telling you, the ability to push forward and always reach out and grab the next thing is good. I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself along the way. No need to make $1 million and then just sit in your office. Go to the beach. Go on vacation. Go see a Broadway play. Go to a concert. Go to a fancy restaurant. Buy yourself a new car. Do something. Enjoy it. But don't hold on to yesterday's feats. Yesterday's feats will give you a defeat later. All right, folks, we're moving on. That's winning words of wisdom for the day. We're going to go over yesterday. Yesterday did not go well again. I was actually very surprised. Didn't go well. No big deal. We'll turn it around today. But on yesterday, we had Kenta by 8 at 6 strikeouts. That did not come to fruition. I was actually really shocked about that. And I'm gonna explain this. We're gonna throw out the fantasy points play. Here's why. Because we don't. So what happened is he was able to hit it on Underdog. He didn't hit it on PrizePicks. We're going to call that a wash. So we're not going to include that in the official tally per se. Okay, it was basically just a wash. And then we had, we had Dean Kramer at 2.5 earned runs allowed. Didn't get that one. And we had Liberatore at 18.5 fantasy points. Didn't hit that one. Liberatore had the game of his life. And Kramer gave up a bunch of hits, walked a lot of guys, just didn't get the run scored against them. No big deal. We are on to today. So first up on the docket, I like some pitching outs today. Pitching outs haven't been kind to us overall this week, but I'm not – listen, I can't get caught up in that. I have to go with how things are looking. And so for me, we're going to kick this thing off with pitching outs. I'm actually going to Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns is at 18.5 pitching outs facing the Chicago White Sox. And Corbin Burns, I do think this is a spot where he should be okay and just okay. But when I look at Corbin Burns over the course of the season, Corbin Burns has just been running up his pitch count a tad bit too much, right? And so his ability to get through, more than 6 innings has really been tapered a ton. We do have him projected for 6 strikeouts as well. If I'm not mistaken, he's 7 on the site. So that might also be a good opportunity. I think I'm going to sprinkle some of that in, but that's not going to be included in the official tally. That'll be a secondary one. But at 18.5 pitching outs, I definitely want less than that. Now, look, folks, here's the deal. I'm not saying that the Chicago White Sox are some juggernaut offense. This team has a 24% K rate projected. What I am saying, though, is that Corbin Burns has been off this season. When we look at the walks, he's been walking guys about 8% on the season. 10% to lefties, 7% to righties. He is going to see projected 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 lefties today. And then in the past 30 days, that's kind of flipped. He's still at 8.9%, but 7% to lefties, 11.5% to righties. I don't think we have the umpire data just yet. Let me check that, because as you can see, I was kind of trying to look and see. No, we don't have it just yet. What I will say is, if Corbin Burns has a hitter's umpire, this is further gonna really get me excited about the opportunity to take that under 18.5 pitching outs. So right out of the gate on the top of the board here, we got Corbin Burns at 18.5 pitching outs. I do like less than that projection. And let me see. You know what? Let's go to the bat. Let's look at that. Let's take a look at that really quick. Let's see what the bat has. Because I was just trying to look at the umpire data. I actually didn't look at the pitching outs. So let's see. Okay, so the bat has Corbin Burns at 17.5 pitching outs, which I do think he goes 6. Don't get me wrong. So if he was at 17.5, I'd probably just kind of stay away. But at 18.5, I don't think he's going into the 7th inning. So for me, seeing this from the bat at 17.5, I think this makes me feel pretty good here that myself and Cardi are on the same page today in terms of projection. So at 18.5 pitching outs, once again, I want less than that projection facing the Chicago White Sox. All right, folks, we're moving to the next one. Guess what? This one is going to be on underdog only here, okay? That's going to be Tyler McGill. We've got Tyler McGill facing the Atlanta Braves in Citi Field. Folks, Tyler McGill's been struggling, and he's getting the hottest offense in baseball coming into town, and this is a division matchup here. Now, the Atlanta Braves are pretty comfortable in their spots, but even still, I think the Braves want to come out and have a good showing. We just had a dreadful, and I do mean dreadful, series in Pittsburgh. I mean, we should have beat the snot out of this team, and I mean, every day it was a dogfight. So I'm hoping that the Braves can come into town and do their thing. And let me get this screen share going. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm just talking away, and I'm not showing you the data that I'm looking at. So please forgive me. I understand if you're working out or if you're driving in your car, you can't see it anyway. But for those of you that are watching, I do want you to be able to get in and look at the information. So we've got the Braves. They are, once again, they're facing the Mets. They're in Citi Field. And when we go over here, we look at the Braves. One of the things I do like about the Braves this season, the K rate overall has come down. Like, we've got a couple guys in the middle here, 25%, 25%. But generally speaking, the K rates have come down over the season. And if you look at the past 30 days, they're still similar. Now, Rosario at 32%. I don't think he'll stay there. As you can see on the season, he's at 25. I think that will get back down to normalized. But what we do see from Tyler McGill over the last 30 days, he's only at 17% on the season, 18% to lefties, 16% to righties, 13% on the past 30 days, 7% to lefties, 22% to righties. And he is going to see Acuna, Albies, Riley, Olsen right out of the gate. So I think they're going to cause us some problems. At 20.5 fantasy points, we want less than that projection for Tyler McGill. I'm expecting the Braves to come out and do their thing. Limit the strikeouts. Like, McGill only has a strikeout projection of around 4 anyway. So even if he gets 4 strikeouts, if he gives up 3 runs, I'm not expecting him. Even if he went 5 innings, gave up 3 to 4 runs, and got 4 strikeouts, we're still good. So I'm very excited about this particular opportunity here at 20.5. I know we took Liberatore yesterday at 18.5, which was pretty low. He just had an upside game. Folks, remember, you can't let that cloud your judgment, cloud your thinking, cloud what's in front of you. I definitely think it's an opportunity for the Braves to come into town and knock Tyler McGill out of the game early. I'm hoping he does. If he doesn't make it 3 innings, then we know the Braves have absolutely done their job. If he makes it only to 4, we believe the Braves have absolutely done their job. So I'm very excited about that. When we look at what McGill is throwing, 60% fastball. Well, you know what's going to come, folks. When we look at the fastball numbers for the Braves, this team can hit the fastball. And so most teams can hit the fastball, but the Braves absolutely. I mean, the K rates come down for even some of their lower K guys, go up for some of them. But overall, like, this is going to be a fairly low strikeout team, 21% combined on the fastball. So I'm not really worried about it as much. So there we go there. Once again, at 20.5 fantasy points on underdog, we want less than that projection for Tyler McGill. All right, we're going to our last one of the day, folks. Last one of the day. And this one is going to be a similar one. Well, not similar, but this is coming from a guy. I do like his pitching outs prop as well. What I'm going to do is we're going to roll with his strikeout prop at 5, okay? His strikeout pick'em square at 5. And that's Mr. Adon facing the Oakland Athletics. Oakland is coming into town. Folks, these Oakland bats strike out heavy. 19% for Ruiz, 23% for Blade, 29% for G-Love, 25% for Brown, 22% for Diaz, 33% for Soderstrom, 30% for Langelier, 16% for Allen. And if you look at the last 30 days, it's still up there. A lot of guys in the high 20s, low 30s. So I think we're good there. When we look at Mr. Don, now once again, this is in limited plate appearances. And then even if we go to last season, we'll see. This isn't a guy that's necessarily been super high upside, so I'm not saying that. But I'm saying against the Oakland Athletics, I think this is a team that we're able to see him come out and dominate. 26% of the season so far, 27% to lefties, 26% to righties, 31% the past 30 days, 26% to lefties, 35% to righties. And then when we look at who he's faced, because I do think that's always important to take into account, right? He's faced Cincinnati was his last start, and I want to talk about that because he was able to go 6 innings in that particular start. And so I do think Cincinnati is better than Oakland now. Once again, we're trying to compare teams here and just kind of talk through it. If he's going to have the leash to go the distance, I think the strikeout opportunities are going to be there. I think the pitching out opportunities are going to be there, and that's how he's going to get there. So we need pitching opportunities, kind of similar to when we're looking at NFL and we're trying to project catches, right, for a or receptions rather for a wide receiver. Well, we can't say, yeah, this guy's going to get 6 receptions when he's only getting 4 targets a game, if that makes any sense. So the same thing here for pitching. If he's got the leash, if he's going to start to get up into that 90 to 95 pitch count totals, now he's got the opportunity for the strikeouts. He's got the opportunities for the pitching out. And so that's one of the little small data points that you want to look for, which obviously it's an obvious data point, but just kind of want to give you a different way of looking at it. So he's got to have the opportunity. It looks like he's trending upwards. Looks like they're giving him the opportunity. And so as a result, facing an Oakland team that's very K heavy, I'm very interested in Mr. Adon at 5 strikeouts. I want more than that projection. All right, folks, I'm going to give you one more. Let's go with the bonus. Let's give out 4 today. Let's give out 4 plays. Let's go with the bonus. We're going to Boston. We got Tariq Skubal. Tariq Skubal's facing the Boston Red Sox. Folks, we got Skubal at 5 strikeouts. I want more than that projection. Here's why. When you look at the Boston Red Sox, what you're going to see is at the top, yes, they've got Yoshida and Refsnyder, who should be leading off because of the platoon at 14%, and Yoshida at 39%, Devers at 21%. But generally speaking, this team is a much higher strikeout team against lefties than they are against righties. 39% for Duvall. Story just came back. He's at 100%. We're just going to throw him out. Tristan Casas, 33%. Luis Urias, 28%. Connor Wong, 34%. The opportunities will be available for Tariq Skubal today at 5 strikeouts. We want more than that projection. We definitely think this is a spot where he can get off and make this team pay. All right, so let's go back through our recap. Folks, this has been exceptional. I'm so glad you joined us. I think we have potential sweeps and winners coming our way. So at the top, we got Corbin Burns at 18.5 pitching outs. We want less than that projection. We've got Tyler McGill. This was only on Underdog at 20.5 fantasy points. We want less than that projection. We've got Mr. Adon in Washington facing the Oakland Athletics at 5 strikeouts. We want more than that projection. And we've got Tariq Skubal, 5 strikeouts, facing the Boston Red Sox, a much higher strikeout team to lefties than righties. We want more than that projection. Folks, I am Chief. This has been Take Your Pick'em. We're 18-11 on the month, 18-11-1 on the month. Let's make it 22-11-1 when we get back on Monday. Come in with your pockets empty. Leave with your pockets full. Let's get the sweep. I'll see you back here next week.